Mnangagwa's government has managed to engineer a return of Air Zimbabwe. Well, sort of, because it's not quite a return of Air Zimbabwe, because essentially it's an outfit calling itself Air Zimbabwe, but it's run by, lo and behold, the Mutapa investment fund, the sovereign wealth fund we were talking about earlier, which is absolutely under Mnangagwa's private control, and no one can see the minutes of the decisions about funding and the sources of funding. But all we know is that it controls about $16 billion worth of state assets, and now it's added to his portfolio this airline, and it will be launching flights. It's 6 months late, but it's better late than never. It's being run by, the initiative is being run by a guy called John Mnangagwa, who used to be the governor of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, and because of his good service, he was moved on to run Mnangagwa's sovereign wealth fund. And the slight problem with the partner they've chosen, it's a Spanish airline, and that airline is actually being investigated by the Spanish authority for misuse of COVID funds and laundering money from Venezuela. But apart from that, it seems to be an ideal partner to resuscitate the national airline.
I mean, that's nothing wrong there, right? It looks completely above board.
I was very impressed by that story when I saw it trending on Twitter. I was like, wow, this is nice, you know, but I was always suspicious, like, who's behind it? How did it all happen so quickly? And it sounds so good, and now we're hearing it's not so good.
It sounds like Mnangagwa is taking greater control of the economy by stealth.
Big Five is already identified, so that's already a syndicate, and I would say Big Five is always, that's why we described it as a cartel, because it was not just a syndicate that was dealing with a normal criminality, you know, selling things because they want to make money out of it. But this was a group that their plan was to take over government. And that's why we had to stand up and say, this cannot be allowed. When South Africans have got a constitutional right to vote for their leaders, and on this side we have people that have got money that are now controlling politicians, and they are trying and are controlling law enforcement, using law enforcement, and to make sure that they can attack any of their enemies that are contesting those high positions. So that's what we're trying to mitigate. So the Big Five is already identified. We are working on them, and we are going to neutralize them very soon.
Over to you, and I'm referring to those that were celebrating this so-called Air Zimbabwe plane leased by an interesting country. Now that the truth is out of the bag, that plane was just a farce. Emmerson Mnangagwa was desperate to close this entire building that he has been building over the years, the kingdom. So he would do anything to play the gullible. I'm glad I'm not one of the people that you can play with, and there's so many Zimbabweans who saw through the whole deal that there was a lot of discrepancies. Here it is. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section, because honestly, Zimbabwe is dead. Please, let's pray for Nyoka Mabunu. He's on his way to Zim. Let's pray that God protects him, because God is capable of doing anything. God can turn the hearts of man. That's why he's God. He's the owner of the people. Okay, Mnangagwa and his gang have been playing us the whole time. But ZANU PF as a party must hang its head in shame. Because, wow, they've lowered our standards. Now here we are on international stage being humiliated for actually being dumb. Look, people are laughing at our president. My prayer is that one day we wake up with a man of integrity in the police and the military as well. Because where we are currently in, we're in trouble, y'all. We are in deep trouble. Guys, are you watching Madlanga Commission? Are you watching what South Africa is doing? You cannot allow these gangs, these criminal gangs, to steal the country. After all that they've done against the people of Zimbabwe, talk about all the crimes they've committed, now they want to take the country itself. You and I will be breathing hot air. Please, I cannot allow our country to die. That's why I'm sitting in this chair. 31st of July, the beginning of Emerson Mnangagwa's end. It went successfully today. Take a look. Let's look at that interesting comment. Young Hassan said the organizers of 31st July protests, should be proud. So far, they've succeeded in raising the cost of dictatorship. They may want you to think otherwise, but the deployment of soldiers into townships shows the panic. Now keep the momentum, announce the next protest date. We saw it. I mean, a presser after presser after presser. That's how desperate Mnangagwa is. But as I said earlier on, the country has gone to the dogs. Watch.
Then that guy is buying vehicles for almost every influencer in Zim, musicians, everyone, every like literally everyone. The Toyota Fortuners, some worth 80,000, 60,000. Some vehicles worth 100,000. He's just buying for everyone.
For fun. Like he just...
For fun, yeah.
Has he bought for you?
Not yet.
Why?
Why?
No.
He should buy for you. Minga, please. Buy for this.
Somehow we think he's watching this.
Obviously. But yeah, I'm just saying, people are rich in Zim.
Damn.
And most of them are buying, these things cash.
Wow.
So when I hear people say, buying via installments and stuff, in Zim is not. We don't do that.
Okay.
Interesting. What about the housing situation?
Yeah, I think it's quite different. I don't know. Do you guys own houses? This side?
Yeah.
So in Zim, anyone can own a house as long as you can afford.
Okay.
I have two. So I've built mine from scratch.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they costed me about each, I think around 100 to 120K.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but the first one, I think it was a bit cheaper, about 50,000.
Okay.
There are very few government apartments. I don't even know if we have government
in Zimbabwe.
Almost everyone owns a house.
Okay.
I mean, to those who afford. Okay. Yes.
Okay. In Singapore, we have like public housing. I think they start at about 300, 400
for the smallest ones.
Yeah, for an apartment that is maybe about 50 square meters. 50 square meters, yeah.
Very small.
Tiny.
Mine is at least 1,000 square meters.
Respect. What was the phrase again? I love Zimbabwe.
You guys should come to Zimbabwe, man. You should come to see you.
Wow.
What about
The interesting part is that DJ Ola thinks is flexing. It is shameful. Can you see how that guy is opening his mouth like what? He's flabbergasted by the fact that people can't even see that they're being played by criminals. Brothers and sisters, when are we going to wake up? I feel sad for DJ Ola. He doesn't see it. Like many Zimbabweans today, they were conditioned by Mnangagwa that I'm your Messiah. The country bleeds my heart. I can't wait for a day that people are going to start living. Because right now, this is not living. This is survival. And that is very dangerous for your soul. Right? And I can tell you that this is staged. Staged to play fools, to believe that Zimbabwe has got a lot of money. It can actually buy people cars. That's how stupid these criminals are. They think everyone is so stupid like them. You can use a gun, but man, wisdom is a whole ball game. Let's move on. Now that you know that 16 billion is being invested for Emerson Mnangagwa's children and generations to come, that's how kingdoms operate. Look at what's going on in Eswatini. The man has got 16 wives. Each one of them has got a Rolls Royce. They're living large. Like if you see them holding parties. But recently, one of his bodyguards unalived himself in front of delegates. You know, I was like, sir, why wasting such an opportunity? You know the trouble causer, don't you? So why? Not that you left. Did the problem end? You see, this is why I respect David. You see, David, when he met Goliath, did not even pray. It was like, you need to go. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that is standing against the armies of my God? He meant the people. The armies of God were the people of God. It's like me looking at Mnangagwa and said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that is standing against the armies of my God? I'm simply telling him, who are you who can stand against the people of God? Why? Why? Anyway, let's move on to Mnangagwa. So Mnangagwa decided to cancel his appearance at Mine Entra in Bulawayo. Why? Because he's afraid anything can happen. Anything can happen. I can see it. Let me read the reports there from Newsday. So President Emmerson Mnangagwa has abruptly cancelled an appearance at Mine Entra in Bulawayo. Officials and journalists waiting for his arrival at JM Como Airport told to stand down and leave the airport. No reasons given. That's Mnangagwa for you. I'm not surprised. But let's look at the response from Nick Mangwana. His Excellency the President of the Republic will be officially represented by Vice President Honorable General Dr. Chiwenga at the official opening of the 29th edition of the Mining, Engineering and Transport Mine Entra Expo today at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo. You guys have seen a video that is circulating where people are chanting, only God knows what. Some people, I just found it on X and I shared it. It's trending. I think Mnangagwa heard that. I was like, I'm out of here. I cannot go there because I saw Jealous More laughing and he said he's afraid of a White City Stadium repeat. I think you guys remember what happened in White City Stadium. They doing the den when the bomb was like, boom! Imagine killing, but you're afraid to die. Isn't that funny? Because there's a young, incredible man who was killed recently. And unfortunately, because he just opposed the COUP 3, they went in with axes and attacked this young man. Shame on you, people in ZANU PF. Shame on you. You know, some of you don't even know how God curses people. And because if God curses you, who can actually avert the curse? None whatsoever. That's one of the reasons why many people in ZANU PF are dying very marombe. With all the money you're looting, but you die like nothing. Because God has judged you. You don't know that you can take all the money that you take, but the judgment of God is definitely on you. God don't play when it comes to evil. He doesn't play. And I feel sad for you. Turn from your wicked ways. It's not too late to be right. My dad always say that. You can turn. It's not too late to be right. It's not too late. Let's look at the message from the military generals against the so-called kingdom that Emmerson Mnangagwa is pursuing, which will not see the light of day. Retired General Winston Sigauke said ZANU PF must choose between its founding values and the Zigananda cartel. I write today not as a politician, but as a soldier who wore this country's uniform when Zigananda was not even a whisper, when the only cartel we knew was Ian Smith's Rhodesian Front and its foreign backers. I write because I've watched with growing alarm how a small clique of entrepreneurs and briefcase businessmen has hijacked the soul of a liberation movement that was built on blood, not on bank balances. The cartel has no loyalty to the party. Zigananda, those who accumulated obscene wealth, not through production, but through proximity to power, have never fought for this country. They did not carry rifles through Chimoyo or Nyazonya. Their war was fought in boardrooms, tender committees, and offshore accounts. Today, they seek something even more dangerous than wealth. They seek to convert economic capture into political succession, grooming a dynasty that would outlive the very revolution it feeds off. This is not conspiracy theory. It is the plain arithmetic of patronage. When individuals amass fortunes disproportionate to any legitimate enterprise and then insert themselves into succession conversations as kingmakers, the party must ask whose interest is actually being served. General Chiwenga's claim is institutional, not personal. General Constantino Chiwenga's path to leadership is not built on tender contracts. It is built on decades inside the structures that founded this nation, the Liberation War, the integration of the armed forces, the defense of Zimbabwe's sovereignty through the most difficult sanctions years. That is a different kind of legitimacy than the legitimacy of a bank account. A ZANU PF that chooses cartel-anointed dynasty over institutional liberation-rooted leadership is a ZANU PF that is forgotten why it exists. The party was not formed to protect the fortunes of a handful of tenderpreneurs. It was formed to protect the land, the people, and the sovereignty of Zimbabwe. Dynasty politics, whether whispered about in Harare's corridors or openly campaigned for by a cartel-aligned voices, represent a betrayal of the one-person, one-vote democratic culture the liberation struggle was meant to entrench. No family, however connected, is entitled to inherit a nation. Succession must run through structures, through the party's own institutions, and through leaders tested by service, not through boardroom deals struck by men whose primary qualification is proximity to money. I do not write as an enemy of ZANU PF. I write as one of his founding generation, urging the party to look hard at who is shaping its future and why. The choice ahead is not merely about individuals. It is about whether the revolution remains a movement of the people or becomes the permanent property of a cartel and its chosen heirs. General Chiwenga's candidacy deserves to be judged on this basis: institutional loyalty versus cartel capture, liberation credentials versus dynasty entitlement. That is the debate ZANU PF cannot afford to avoid. Retired Winston Sigauke Mapranga. So this is my take. The day we are going to wake up and realize that Zimbabwe is bigger than any party which is ZANU PF or any party that is or that will ever come, that's the day we are going to be free. There's an obsession with groups rather than an obsession with a country that has a strong foundation and that aspires to build a legacy that outlive itself. That is a challenge. I don't know what to say. Imagine in a family that you're obsessed with what you're benefiting than being obsessed with actually making sure everyone is happy, is sane, is thriving, and is also working on building generational wealth. It is shameful that we actually don't see that. We are failing simple principles. Zimbabwe has men and women who are capable to run that country to the T. That can build that country. In few years, you'll see Zimbabwe look like heaven on earth. In fact, I remember the late Mahiso, rest in peace, Comrade Geza, is in heaven with the Father. He said Zimbabwe was even like Europe when you came back from war. But ZANU PF destroyed it. What does it take to actually destroy ZANU PF? What does it really take? I don't know why we are so in love with this party, because this party is connecting all of us to trauma. The moment I hear ZANU, I just want to weep. The trauma is deep. I wish to wake up in Zimbabwe, in a country where I don't hear a word called ZANU PF. And many Zimbabweans wish the same. I pray for that day, because wow, we really have been abused for far too long now. You know, the fact that Mnangagwa has violated the constitution of Zimbabwe over and over and over and over with no reaction says a lot about us. That's one of the reasons why those white people were laughing. So these people are not serious. It's not a country, Mus. Imagine a person takes the money that belonged to the country into a pocket and starts changing. Mnangagwa woke up and said, change that account from Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund to Mutapa so that at least my kids can have money to eat generations to come, because these idiots are stupid. They must go to work for me. Let's simplify it, because every time you want to formalize things that don't even need formality, you are dealing with criminals that does not care about formality. They've bastardized Zimbabweans left, right, and center. They don't care about rules, but you want to apply rules. I even hear some people say, oh, but you know what happened when the country will be isolated by who? Check what happened to Burkina Faso. Look at what happened to Madagascar. Who cares? We need to have a country where people don't take nonsense. It's called leadership. The day we are going to realize that a police and a soldier serving Mnangagwa and his criminals is the highest form of stupidity. You don't need to go to University of Harvard to know that we are just being stupid here. We are being used. It makes me think of my sister Chimama. After all that she had done for these people, what did she get in return? And another person would be on the line to say, use me and eliminate me when you want to. Guys, it's okay to work hard and to succeed. It's okay for us to restart as a country. It's not too late to be right. Seeing Waname Muchangwa and Muchangwa clapping hands for Mnangagwa and his criminals, I feel sad. I feel sad. It's not because I actually care about politics, but I care about how much they've been so brainwashed by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa conditioned so many people in ZANU PF. Today they don't know why they are in this world. It's okay to follow your purpose. In fact, peace lies within your purpose. When you find your purpose, you find fulfillment. Yeah, when you're fighting for money, it's not the money that you're chasing, it's you're chasing yourselves. You're seeking, where is my purpose? Why am I here? Because taking money from Zimbabweans is not why you're here. You're here to fulfill purpose. When you find it, you find the peace that you're chasing. It's not the money. You've been looting for the past 4 decades and you're still miserable. You're not chasing for money. You're chasing for your purpose. Find it. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I love you all. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.